The fermentation process that occurs in the bread is alcoholic fermentation. This is a process in which yeast breaks down glucose to produce two ATP molecules and two pyruvate molecules, using NAD plus and two ADP plus P molecules, which then produces two acetaldehyde molecules, which then produces two acetaldehydes and CO2. After the NADH goes into those two acetaldehyde, they produce 2-ethanol. This is why it is called alcoholic fermentation, as the final product is ethanol. Two organisms must be present in your bread to make good sourdough bread. Well, to make sourdough bread at all. These two organisms are yeast and lactobacilli. The yeast converts carbohydrates into CO2 and alcohols as previously mentioned. Lactobacilli converts fructose and other sugars into lactic acid. How does bread rise? Well, the CO2 that is being given off by the yeast, when it metabolizes the sugars, form air bubbles in the dough. As the yeast keep producing CO2, those bubbles inflate like a balloon. As for the sourness, it comes from the lactic acid produced by the lactobacilli. Some of the advantages to fermentation is that it doesn't need oxygen to get its energy, whereas with aerobic respiration, you do need oxygen, and you need enough of it. It's not just like a little bit. You need enough oxygen to be able to produce your energy. But some of the downsides is that it only produces a net of 2 ATP molecules, whereas with aerobic respiration, you are able to produce 36 ATP molecules, which is a lot more than 2 ATP molecules. So if there is oxygen around, it is a lot better if you used aerobic respiration. It would be a lot more efficient in your energy production than fermentation. But obviously on an early planet Earth, where there was no oxygen, it would actually be good if they used fermentation, as they could still produce energy.
It's been a long, pretty cool process with lots of steps involved, and it was kind of a long night at the end and a long morning so far. His hard work has paid off with these beautiful sourdough loaves, and we're about to enjoy one of them. So good job, Connor.